What is up, YouTube? Third Impact here, coming at you with something a little different today. Today we're going to be doing a manga review of Attack on Titan Before the Fall. So, hopefully you already know what Attack on Titan is. It's an extremely popular manga anime series that has really blown up this year, especially with its anime's release. And in its immense popularity, a new spin-off series of the a spin-off series of the series has been released, Attack on Titan Before the Fall. Now, this is being illustrated by Satoshi Shiki, and it's based on the light novels also written by Isayama. So, from the Attack on Titan plot, you're made to believe that there's been 100 years of peace until this colossal titan appears on Wall Maria and kicks it in the first episode. But before that, we're made to believe that these walls had stood there for 100 years and they had been safe from the Titans with absolutely no interruptions. But now this is where this story comes into play, because this is at complete odds with this story that we've already been told. Apparently, 70 years ago, so 30 years after a time before where they either didn't have the wall or they were being attacked, there was a situation in which a Titan entered the walls. Now, this is like a really sort of interesting story, number one. So, some of the main points of it are the fact that a Titan entered the walls. There's no three-dimensional gear, and that this story also chronicles the invention of that, and also chronicles the life of this character that was born from Titan filth, essentially. So when the Titans consume enough people, you know that they don't have any digestive organs and they just throw up all the humans that they ate. One of the women that was consumed by this Titan was pregnant, and then after it ate too many and then threw them up, she gave birth, and this is the Titan's child, or the child that was born from the Titans. So the chapter begins with a severed human head just falling from the sky. Really freaky stuff. A woman sees it, screams. Normal reaction, I'd say, to have to witnessing something like that. But then it cuts to a little bit later. This woman's returning with this cult-looking group, and she's demanding that the walls be opened. So this is a little strange. This is all observed by two members of the Scouting Legion, who not only comment on the fact that obviously this door isn't going to be opened, this gate, they're crazy, this isn't going to work, the officials are there to stop that from happening, but we quickly learn that the official's being held at axe point and is killed and the walls opened instead. And they also observe the fact that this woman that's returning with the cult is the same woman that witnessed that severed head fall to the ground, who is also the wife of a man, the head that fell on the ground, who's in the Scouting Legion. So he was killed by a Titan and had the head thrown over the wall. His wife saw it, goes crazy, and then returns with this Titan-worshipping cult to try to get the walls open. So this Titan's led into the walls, all chaos breaks loose, this Titan runs around, grabbing people, eating people, and this chapter pretty much ends with these two Scouting Legion members discovering the mass of human bodies that this Titan has regurgitated, seeing Elena's body, she's pregnant, and she then gives birth to this child. So this character, we find out its name is Kyokuro in the next chapter, and I actually find this character quite interesting. Like, his origin story alone, I feel, sort of gives him at least more potential than almost any of the characters in the Attack on Titan show, in the original, which I find really surprising just from this origin. I mean, we know he's going to become a Titan hunter or Titan killer, who knows what legion he joins or whatever, but he's going to become a Titan hunter. He most likely has something to do with the invention of the three-dimensional gear. His father was in the Scouting Legion and was killed by Titans, so he kind of has that, like, revenge aspect, if that ever comes up, or if he ever finds out. But also, his hatred for the Titans, I feel, is also so much stronger, because not only did they kill his father, they drove his mother into insanity, which caused her to open the gates, killing 5,000 people, but was also sort of the catalyst that put this unborn child on the course in the direction which caused him to be like at the epicenter of all these things and to become this Titan hunter, this child born from the Titans, and all of this stuff. So I don't know where the story is necessarily going and how good this character actually turns out being, but the potential I feel in this character is greater than a lot of the potential seen in the characters in the Attack on Titan original show. So Kyokuro is sort of placed in solitary confinement way deep down in the dungeons, and this is where, in the second chapter, The Resolute Girl, that things get kind of weird. So he's the child of the Titans, but people are freaking stupid in this world and, like, treat him like he's a real Titan. Like, I understand what they're going for. They're trying to show how, like, their ignorance and their just belief in this Titan sort of based religion and pretending or believing that this Kyokuro child born from the Titans is in some way some sort of like sign or some way related to the Titans, but really he's just a freaking real child, kid, human being born from the Titans because there was a woman that was devoured by the Titans that then gave birth. He isn't a Titan. Like, they should be able to figure that out through him not having any traits of Titans at all. But apparently they don't, and they're complete assholes. This freaking shabby kid, he reminds me of, like, I don't even know, like, I don't know if any of you know Escaflowne, but he kind of reminds me of that, like, the Landau character archetype, where they're, like, the really shitty, like, pretty boy prince guys who are just complete crazy assholes because they're, like, self-righteous, entitled prince characters, and they just hate all other humans and just treat them like complete trash. He's like that kind of guy. So he like beats him just for fun, like, oh, look at me, I'm such a strong guy, I'm gonna beat the Titans one day, I can beat up this defenseless 13-year-old boy who's shackled and clearly not a Titan. Just terrible. And you see like montage sort of things of other royals and nobles being shown this child of the Titans being, and they beat him and stuff. It's like really, really horrible stuff. And it's kind of completely unbelievable that these people would actually believe he's in any way related to Titans. But as we know from Attack on Titan, they really like to take the those held in the highest regard in society and just make them look like complete shitheads and just real douchebags who are only really using this child of the Titans as a sort of influence on the people, and like it's more them trying to convince themselves that he's relevant in some way and that he can be used as like a tool to sort of further their interests. But it actually is really interesting watching Kyokuro's sort of confinement, because when we see him chained up, he's very still. He's looking around really single-mindedly, and as soon as he sees this little spider, he snatches it up really fast and just consumes it. And we're made to think of the Titans with this imagery for sure. And even though he isn't a Titan in any way, his behavior in that case seems very Titan-like. But at the same time, knowing Attack on Titan, we know that there's a little bit more to Titans. So, without jumping into too much spoiler territory, that alone kind of, it really did a cool job, not only in like the literal plot and grand scheme of things, which we know through the facts presented in the show, but also just as far as like human-Titan relations go, and how, maybe Titans can't be so human-like from what we've seen so much, but that humans can appear very Titan-like at times. So this little shithead, Chabi, decides to start waking Kyokuro up every morning by drowning him in water. Drowning him in a bucket of water just to wake him up, because he feels that Titans shouldn't be so lazy and drowsy. Like, what a dick. But Kyokuro doesn't really mind, because he just takes this opportunity to slurp up as much water as he can off the grounds, because they don't even frickin' feed this guy, I don't feel, at all. So Chabi starts getting angry that when he's beating him, he doesn't fight back, he doesn't resist in any way. So he's like trying to like be like, come on, resist, fight me back. And Kyokuro kind of starts mimicking some of the words he's saying, like he's saying like resist, resist, and things like that. And he kind of stands up and takes on a sort of fighting stance, and really lamely tries to defend himself. But come on, he's like so malnourished. He doesn't get to move. He doesn't get to eat. So like he's gonna actually be able to do anything against this shithead. So he kind of gets his ass kicked again. But again, this is just showing like he's speaking. He is learning. He is a freaking human, not a Titan. But whatever, we're just gonna keep treating him like a Titan anyways, because why not? Because we're dumb. So we're then introduced to this female character, Charlet, I think her name might be. I'm not really quite sure how to pronounce that. But the sister of Shithead Shabi, and they want to go up and see outside the wall. So they have to take this big elevator lift up to the top of the wall because three-dimensional gears haven't even been invented yet. And Shabi's all excited. He sees a Titan, and when Charlet looks, she sees that it's the same Titan that had entered the walls 13 years prior. So right, I didn't specify that 13 years had passed. So Kyokuro is 13 years old. So anyways, she obviously doesn't recognize that this is the same Titan, but it just happens to be the same Titan, which is kind of suspicious as well, but I don't know if there's any greater significance to it, other than this particular Titan just has... There's a lot of emphasis with this Titan, that's all I'm going to say. He kind of looks like a shifter, too. Anyways, let's stick with this. I'll talk about that later. But anyways, Charlet sees this Titan, freaks out, screams, and realizes that they are the reason that they're not allowed to go see this outside world that she's spent all her time studying, that she really wants to see. It's their fault, and she has a knife, and she's gonna go kill Kyokuro down in the dungeon because somehow that's gonna fix everything. No, she just needs to get revenge on all the Titans, and that includes killing a locked up down in the dungeon 13-year-old boy, because that's gonna make her so much more happy that she can't come outside anyways. Kinda dumb. But anyways, that's pretty much those two chapters, so really so far in a nutshell. There isn't a lot, I don't think, to speculate on, other than he's obviously going to become stronger, and I don't know, hopefully somehow with Charlet, he's going to be integrated into society. But this Titan that was let into the walls 13 years prior to this chapter, 70 years prior to the show, he has hair. He kind of looks like a shifter. He was waiting at the door when it was opened. He threw a head over the wall. So, in the very least, he's an abnormal, but he might be more than that. We're going to have to wait and see. But that is my little introduction review of the first two chapters of Attack on Titan Before the Fall. I really like it so far. I'm really interested to see where it goes. Obviously, I'm gonna follow it. I'll follow it up with other videos as more chapters are released. But yeah, concerning the art, this guy does a pretty good job. I don't really Isayama has his strengths and weaknesses. Sometimes with faces and whatnot, he doesn't have the greatest stuff, but when it comes to the actual Titans and the action and all that, I feel Isayama's really great. So everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, but overall, this guy has really good art. I'm enjoying it so far, and hopefully the art keeps up. Hopefully Isayama's story in the light novel stays really good. And yeah, go check it out. If you haven't seen Attack on Titan yet, go read that, go watch that, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.